tell you that she would mark you on the basis?
I remember her saying was that
We're not trying to hurt her.
She would like us to write about a page and a half, but that a page would be acceptable.
Well, I could write about 8 pages in the time you had, so God, I hope you wrote more than a page and a half. Anyway, so she's being kind. If you couldn't do 3 pages in an hour and 15 minutes of a little exam sheet or something, I'd be really mystified. But anyway, if a person is going on, you would mark them on the basis of what they handed in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I told them they can write as much as they want.
Yeah, right. So, and you'll assume that if they're going on and getting into an interesting area, that they didn't want to stop in the middle of something. That you would assume they would continue at the same good pace had they had the time to continue that. So anyway, that's how I would assume that. Well, so that's how I would see it. But I don't want to get in between you two. It's the same like getting in between my different offspring. I always come out bad. I can't win. So I'm going to back off this particular subject. And let's hope that you guys can sort it out between each other. And I thought you'd gone though. Okay. Who goes there, hankering gross mystical news? Who would have written that in 1850? I mean, really, that's really quite an incredible line. I mean, it's hard to believe people would write it in 1950. You know, nowadays, yeah, but because we have read him that we're willing to talk that way, very few people would have expressed themselves. And how did he know that it was poetry? How did he know that we would consider it to be poetry? That's what I think his genius is. And I think he is a genius here. I think later on he runs down trying to, like I said, all people try to recapture their best moments, like lovers try to recapture their best love moments and so on and so forth. But it never is quite the same as the original thing. And we always see when things start to get canned or trite. And he's trying his whole life, as he said, he's not going to stop his whole life, but he rarely gets a moment like this again. But that, I mean, just, how is it I extract strength from the beef I eat? What is a man anyway? What am I? What are you? Whimpering, truckling, full with powers for invalids, conformity goes to the fourth degree. I wear my house, I please, indoors and out. And, you know, I'm not gonna bow to anybody. This is quite an incredibly independent statement. Of course, it may be blowing a lot of hot air. But the fact that he puts it on paper, and it does have a certain rhythm and meter to it, and you can read it in a manner that makes it feel that it has a cadence and it has meaning, I think he's succeeded. Why should I pray? Why should I venerate and be ceremonious? What am I bowing down to? I don't see any point in bowing down to these things of the past. You know, I know I am solid and sound. I mean, these are really, again, there's no rhythm here you can plot. It's just the cadence of natural speech in the American vernacular. I know I am deathless. I know this orbit of mine cannot be swept by a carpenter's compass. I know I shall not pass like a child's curlicue cut with burnt stick at night. I know I am august. I do not trouble my spirit to vindicate itself or to be understood. I exist. That is enough. If no other in the world is aware, I sit content, and if each and every one is aware, we read this last time, I sit content. And I know that I exist, basically, and you know, I don't really give a rat if anyone else does. But he's lying, of course. He wants you to know. He wouldn't be writing it down. In fact, his whole existence depends on you knowing that he exists. And in that regard, he's succeeded. He has achieved what his goal was. His goal was to make us, you, me, aware of him. Now, maybe you weren't aware of him, and never would have been if I didn't throw him in your face. But people over the generations have become aware of him, and more as time goes on. So he actually succeeded. This is what he wanted to do. I am the poet of the body, and I am the poet of the soul. I am he who walks with a tender and growing night. Yeah, we did all of this. I am the poet of goodness, but I do not decline to be the poet of evil or wickedness either. What does he mean by evil? He doesn't really mean cutting people's throats like bin Laden or Al-Qaeda or something and sawing their heads off on television, which I would consider to be the lowest of evil, even though those people who are doing it consider they're the highest of righteousness, which is really, really odd. And if I had my brother, if I'd hunt every one of those people down like there would be no tomorrow, I wouldn't put up with that for a moment. A big country like this, I'd send you guys out there, and you guys would find these people, and you'd finish them. Because I wouldn't put up with that. I can't believe this country is putting up with anything like that. That's just so low and so gross, beyond the pale. And to bring that back into the modern world is unacceptable. That's how I would put it if I were Mr. Bushy-Wushy or Johnny Kerry. But anyway, the point is that he's not talking about things like that. He's talking about mostly sexual, maybe bad eating health habits. That's the only evil he really is aware of that he's considering